Yes, so this is Mr. Sage, Michael Sage. He's a victim of court fraud, court order scam, and I came to visit him in the, can I call it old people's home, or do they have a posh name for it?
Well, it's, what's the name of the place?
It's a care home.
Yeah, old people's home.
It's
Old people's home, okay.
It's in Woodside Park.
You're a young man, but you're in an old people's home.
It's a council-run
Yeah,
establishment. Yeah.
okay. And this obviously costs a lot of money, which shouldn't be the case because you had your own property which you could be living in. So whoever stole your house is costing the taxpayer to be paying the fees to stay here when you had your own home you could have been in. So that's an important point. But Mr. Sage, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're born and raised in Barnet?
No, I'm born and bred in Felixstowe in Suffolk.
Felix, okay.
My father was a clergyman, and he then moved to Standon in Hertfordshire, and he retired. I don't know what year now.
Yeah, long ago, yeah.
Yeah, but he retired, and then I joined up the Royal Army Medical Corps, and I went down and did my training for enlistment, which was very satisfactory. I did 4 years as what we call trade training, and so I did my training in Ashvale, and from there I was posted to Colchester.
Right. So you've had your life, but somehow you settled in Barnet here.
Yes.
With your wife, and you bought a property in 84 or thereabouts, number 57
Good morning.
Brunswick Park Road.
I received a phone call.
54
Yeah.
Brunswick Park Road.
Yeah.
And you had some business dealings with a man called Mr. Singh.
Yes.
And the long and short of it, it led up to what you thought was court
I might
proceedings
have some job
against
for
you.
phone you.
And
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
so at the end of it is that you were illegally removed from your house, from what evidence we've seen, by someone telling you to get out Mr. Singh and the bailiff. Tell us about that.
Well, I presume. It's a bit of a mess because I was assumed that he was a bailiff.
Yeah.
But was he a bailiff or not?
Well, you assumed all the court proceedings were right and proper.
Yes, I assume so.
And as a law-abiding, God-fearing man, you did what you thought was the right thing.
Correct.
And you gave up your property and your home.
Correct.
And at the time you were living there with your wife,
Yes.
Valerie?
Valerie, yeah.
Uh-huh. So when we look at the court, the paperwork, it's come to light that these proceedings are fraudulent. And Mr. Singh and his solicitor between them and people working in the court building at Barnet County. Is Barnet County Court?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was also in the Central Criminal
Central
Court.
London
Yeah.
County Court.
Yes, it was. You know the when you go by you got the main
Near St. John's Wood somewhere, near the park, Regent's Park.
Well, yes, it's near. Yes, but you got the main road. Is it Euston Road?
Yeah, I think they've moved it now, but,
it started in that court there.
Right.
Then it was transferred to
To Barnet,
the Central Court.
to Central London County Court. Okay. So, and God knows why they want to move it out of your area.
I don't know myself.
Uh-huh. And not only did they take your house, but your belongings.
Yes, I wasn't allowed to take my belongings out of the house.
Yeah. And as far as you're aware, you've never seen a warrant for goods.
That's correct.
Yeah, and I was explaining to you earlier, for someone to come into your house by force, they need to get a criminal conviction based on the Criminal Law Act 1977, Section 45. And were you convicted at any time?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Singh came with a man who says he's a bailiff and told you to get out and take what you can hold in your hands and go. You didn't have a lorry or a van?
No.
Okay, so there was no warrant for the control of your goods. Did you get an inventory of your goods?
No.
No inventory.
No.
And as a result, you are now, you fought and fought. You went to the MP, Teresa Villiers, who is a former barrister. And she told you she can't assist you because the matter is in court.
That's correct.
Right. And how did you feel about that?
I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that she was a barrister.
Right.
If I knew she was a barrister, so that would have been a different matter altogether, because I would have gone to the barristers division.
Well, she's retired from barrister, as I understand it. But
they're still governed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what intrigues me about that, Mr. Sage, is that she would know what is a legitimate court proceeding and what isn't, because she's a former barrister. But she told you it is in court. But as far as you and I know now, it wasn't in court.
No.
It was under the court. So we're going to be trying to restore your position and get your house back and get whatever back. And we're going to ask some questions of some people, which we're sure they can't answer. And we are campaigning to ask the government to step in and restore people like yourself. It is not fair on you, not fair on the society, not fair on the government, that you should be in an old people's home at the taxpayer's expense when you've got your own home stolen by someone who is living very well, either living in your house or living off the rent of your house. So what would you like to happen to victims like yourself, Mr. Sage? They should face a jury and let the jury decide. That's my belief as well. So, all right, we're going to put this out on the internet for you, and so the world can see what is happening. And Mr. What's his name? Singh, Parminder Singh.
Parminder Singh, yeah.
You and your what's the solicitor's name?
Now, it was Mr. Shafir Chowdhury.
Mr. Chowdhury, yeah.
He was the first solicitor.
Yeah.
Then there was another solicitor.
Yeah. But it don't matter. It's all on the paperwork. But
Yeah.
basically, they're all fiddling the court proceeding to make people believe that there is a court proceeding when it's nothing to do with the court.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Sage, thank you very much.